Hi guys, Ryuu here from Blender Bros, and in this video we're going to be designing a mechanical joint. Let's go. Alright, screencast keys on left hand side. I'm going to be using HARDOPS and BOXCUTTER as usual. Also machine tools and mesh machine, because who doesn't? Now if you would like to learn more about HARDOPS and BOXCUTTER workflow, you're new to it, we have a fantastic free course that can actually get you up to speed. So go ahead and grab it. It's called Sci-Fi Terminal Design in Blender, and the link is in the video description. So let's just grab this cylinder here, and let's go to edit mode and occlude with machine tools. And let's just select that, shift select this vert here, Alt A, and align it. Then we're going to clean it with HARDOPS and pull that thing down. So easy. Pull it down here and shift X, so it will scale but not on X-axis here, And we could actually dissolve these two edges. Grab that and sort of, bevel it, and then clean mesh with HARDOPS. Cool. Let's just sharpen this to introduce smoothing. So here, first of all, what we can do is either slice it or maybe shift curve extract like this, and then we can mirror it to the other side. Select them both and just bevel it. Probably we need to assign scale first, and let's do the solidification again. There's always a problem with solidification when you don't apply scale. So there you go, that's better. Select both and then bevel. And we're gonna create small bevel because it's a mechanical part, okay? So you wanna make it a bit sharp. Go here to operations, alt click on sharpen to apply weighted normal to both elements, and you got this nice separation here. Cool. So here we could create some notches. So let's move this cursor to origin, and maybe let's go with a box cutter here. And I want to align it more or less here to this edge. So I'm going to grab this line box and hold Control to release this angle snapping and do something like this and cut. And then I'm going to recover this cutter and Q and mesh tools and Control click on radial array and maybe do that. And once I do that, let's just apply that. So operations multiply, and we're going to delete the ones we don't need. So these ones, okay. There's some problem here with verts. It's just basically overlapping with a vert here. So what we can do is select all of them and just make them a little bit larger, or change to individual origins and just make them a little bit larger. There we go. So it's not going to overlap with this edge here. And there you go. That's looking pretty cool. It's not really properly aligned with this. It's not symmetrical really. So what we can do is recover the cutters and simply, mirror them across, but you can see that the mirror now is a little bit skewed. So we can do is mirror on a cursor, which cursor is actually flat on the global axis. So we can go here to tab menu and pivot point cursor, and also on cursor, and then boom, and it's gonna help. We got a problem with the verts again, so let's apply that. So smart apply, and let's just make it a little bit larger, and it's gonna be fine. And now it's aligned properly on both sides. So with this done here, let's just save it because reasons. And I'm gonna run the power save as well. Cool. So here we're gonna add another cylinder, and it's gonna get added on this cursor here. Let's just sharpen it. This is a little bit too high, maybe. There you go. Scale it down a bit. Scale it down here like this. In fact, we could scale it more here and then apply scale, and then grab this face here and shift curve extrude, go to the solid view and grab an end gun and do something, you know, like this. B and maybe 8 segments. Now, if you don't see these notifications here in the bottom, you need to go here to HARDOPS and enable them under box cutter notifications. And that looks pretty cool to me. We can actually mirror to the other side across this shape. There you go. Okay, hide it to cutters. We don't need it. Shift 2. Okay, cool. So it looks pretty peachy. I like that. And we also need a chamfer here. So let's just apply the solidification, which is on top. So let's just apply that, right? And then we're going to be able to chamfer that like this, alright? Which is going to look pretty dope. And we're going to bevel it because it's not beveled. So bevel this, weighted normals. Same here, bevel this. Don't make it too soft of bevel, because when you make a soft bevel, like really soft, right, like that, you kind of making this part look cartoonish. If it's a real steel and it's machined, it's going to be really sharp, okay, or sharpish. So you want bevels or, you know, chamfers to create highlights on edges. But if it's a really machined object, it's going to be tiny, okay. So the bevel, I mean, so, you know, don't overdo it. In the middle here, we're gonna have some cuts again. So we could do it with a, you know, another cylinder, to be honest. We can lower the vert count to maybe 60 because it's insane. RY 90 because we're gonna be scaling this. Shift X, make it smaller, maybe like this, and you know, sharpen this. And we're gonna just leave it in the middle here for the time being, okay? Cool. So now this part here could use a bevel as well. So, I mean chamfer, sorry. So we could just, you know, run a chamfer here. This is, I think this is solidified still. So let's apply the solidification and do it again. Maybe just on one side, okay? So here. And solidify it, not too much, just a little bit. And, you know, go easy on the bevel. There you go. That's cool. And you get this nice highlight, you know. Chamfers really add a lot of character to your model. This could be a bit too big of a chamfer, maybe smaller one like that. And just, you know, make this bevel tiny. There we go. This could also be chamfered, but you know, maybe we can leave it like that, it's okay. So there you go. This could be cut in the middle here just for fun. So we could do something like this. I press B. And tab B again to adjust this, and maybe 6 is enough. Cut through. So you're gonna get this kind of a shape. We could apply this, so grab this part in the middle and actually, you know, operations multiply and run a chamfer here on this part here, right, like this. And we need to remove these sharp edges in the middle, so simply go here and shift control click on sharpen to recalculate sharpen. The bevel is a bit too crazy, I think, so we can make it a little bit smaller. Cool. And we can actually mirror to the other side with alt X, so using mesh machine. There is an edge in the middle. When you're gonna remove that, it's gonna equalize these cuts on both sides. So there you go, and that's our shape. And here we could do the same thing, so we could just apply scale and, you know, apply a bevel and weighted normals and apply a chamfer, like that. And we could have some fun here with this shape in the middle. So we could apply a loop, Control R, and scale it. And maybe Alt macro and scale it in. Select this entire edge and inset it, and then Alt macro out, and then we could run some chamfers on some of these edges here, and the bevel is way too big. There we go. Okay, that's pretty cool. And on top of this we could have some cuts that are gonna be going across the shape. Clicking on dots and holding control here and drawing the shape here, G, GY, and B to bevel, and then E to extrude it here. Maybe this bevel is a bit too strong. Or maybe we could do it, you know, we could create a chamfer, that'll be better. And then we can move the cursor down to origin, which is going to be the same location as the origin point of this original, the first cylinder. And we can just go with mesh tools and control click the cutter, press X. And not too many, you know, like maybe 5 will do, right? Something like that. I think that's cool. Maybe, you know, 6 would be better. I think, yeah, because it's gonna be more symmetrical this way. Don't know if it's not too many, but that's okay. So we got this going on, and you know, then we need some kind of a arm connecting to it. But before we do that, let's actually have fun with this cutter here. So let's slice it from this side, like this, right? And then what we're gonna do is we're going to recover this cutter. So shift this cutter and scale it and extend it like this. So what we're gonna do is let's just Alt H everything and cut this. So Q and difference. And you're gonna end up with an interesting situation like that, which is pretty cool. And we could actually apply this here. So operation smart apply. And we could run a chamfer here. So let's remove this and let's actually combine these edges here. I'll run a loop here in this area and collapse these two to the front like that. It's gonna be interesting. And here we could do something similar. So, you know, dissolve that, combine these two, and then run a loop here and collapse these. It's pretty cool. And then Alt X to the other side. We have a bevel here already, so it's good. There could be actually separation here. So we could, or we could combine these two together and create a chamfer here. So we would need to remove the bevel. You need to remove the bevel and await it almost from a cutter. Select these two and boolean them together. And then sharpen, click, alt click, and we can just run a chamfer here, like a really large one, or a bevel. I'm not sure what's going to be. Bevel is going to be interesting. Let's recalculate sharpen, and you're going to get this kind of a cool situation. There's a problem here in the bottom. Let's see what happens. Oh, we pulled the edge. So like when you have connections like this, that's a really bad connection. You want to have it more perpendicular, unless you're going to go with, you know, turning off the loop slide. But in most cases, what you want to do is you want to run that edge this way. Okay, it's going to be far more you know, safe, if you will. Let's just remove the sharpens again, and boom, you got this nice kind of a welded like connection here between these two. I like that. It looks pretty cool. Cool. So let's just, you know, let's just maybe combine these two here. Some booleans and union, and sharpen that, and maybe we can do the same thing here. And here we could have a chamfer, and we could have opening here as well, maybe like a small one, something like this. And we could actually scale it and maybe create a tiny chamfer here. So I have something like this on this side, which looks pretty cool. Awesome. And we're gonna mirror it to the other side, right? So we're kind of done. We could have some kind of maybe like a plate here. So we could do, what we could do is grab a cube and scale it, Shift Z, and then maybe scale it on Y axis and scale it on X, right? And then apply scale. And then we could you know, grab these two and sort of bevel them and apply a chamfer here. And then we could boolean them together. So just apply sharpen and boolean with this one. So booleans and union. And the funny thing happened on the other side. So just mirror that in the mirror. there's a mirror involved here, right? So operations multiply and then alt X, there we go. And we could do the same thing here, though, you know what? This could be just flat like that. And then we can have, you know, 2 cuts here, whatever, going deep. Shift D to maybe almost Shift D, whatever, to create this kind of a shape, and alt X, and actually alt X on this one as well, so 2 mirrors. Yeah, so on top of that, we could create another shape here, so we could grab a cube. In fact, what we could do is just draw it, you know, so we could just grab an angle and deselect everything, and we could literally draw it here. So just draw a line here, draw a line here, and just create kind of, you know, this kind of a shape. That press E and extrude it and do that, and then grab this bottom face as C0, and we got ourselves this kind of a shape. Of course it's too big, but we're gonna be able to cut it, so we can just mirror it across this to the other side. There we go. Make it a bit wider, so come on, make it a bit wider here so it's thicker inside, and then just simply, you know, slice it with Shift V and this kind of a cut. Maybe we need to trim this a bit because, you know, it's a little bit too big. I mean, you know, as Shift X and just scale it down and move it here. That's better. And then we need to, you know, make this cutter bigger here. Could actually bevel this, you know. It's gonna look pretty cool. And also we could open this up, you know, so we could do something like this here. Press B for bevel. And open this up a little bit, and then grab this bit here. Let me just grab this. We're not going to be able to see that, so what we need to do is we need to actually drill a hole in it. So let's grab another cylinder, and I would say 50, right? And then what we're going to do is move it to this object. So to cursor and scale it like that. Then we're going to sharpen it and difference and see how we're looking. Yeah, we're looking pretty good. So it's gonna be a bit weak here on the bottom. So what we could do is, you know, just extend it on Z like this, and SY scale it. We could actually straighten it up here. I'll show you the cool trick with flatten. So let's flatten this one to this one. Okay, so Y and flatten. It's gonna flatten on this angle here, and then we could just bevel the 2 bottom edges here, and we could bevel this one as well, and we could bevel this one as well here. And now we can clean the geo. So grab that and just weighted normals that, and clean mesh, and that looks pretty good to me. That looks pretty good to me. Cool. This could be a bit stronger, so ever scroll, and what we could do here is create you know, kind of like a supporting elements. So just slice it through like this. That's gonna look pretty cool. When we're gonna apply that, we're gonna have some problem here with bevels, but maybe it's gonna be okay. So I would just leave it. Here too, we could have, you know, just bevels. We wanna be consistent with the theme, so it's a bit more rounded. And here, once we apply that, so what we can do here is, well, we need to fix these edges because they're awful. So let's just run this here and dissolve that rubbish, and then we can, you know, run a chamfer here, like a really deep one, which is gonna really pull attention to this element here. Then what we can do is run a chamfer here. Oh, maybe smaller like this. We could run the offset cut here. Yeah, we need to make it smaller and also increase the amount of resolution. And maybe turn off the optimization and smooth it out. And just, you know, bevel it like that. And then just remove the sharpen. So we're gonna have problems like this here. The pulls, but what you can do is simply, you know, boolean clean up that. And clean it up a little bit. It's gonna clean up all these crazy, you know, it's not gonna be perfect here, but it doesn't matter because remember guys, we don't care about flat surfaces as long as the shading holds, right? So Alt X and you're done. So let's run the cut first, right? Then sharpen, and then let's just bevel these two a little bit. And then we're going to run mark sharp here and Alt click on this entire loop and chamfer it like this. Alt X to the other side, but we need to move the origin to cursor, so Shift S and origin to cursor, and then we can Alt X it to the other side. Right, so we got something like this, which is pretty cool. I like it. And we can further lighten this up by, you know, creating more openings here. So we could create an opening here like this. And we could just have maybe ever scroll that and, you know, do this. And actually apply that. So smart apply and bevel this one as well here. And then what we could do is run maybe not a cut, but not a cylinder. And we could just put it in here and create like a larger joint that's gonna go across this edge here as well. We could sharpen this and then union. And then sharpen the whole thing and click, alt click, loop Y, sorry, and offset cut. Let's make it wider and bevel it like this. And we will need to, you know, we will need to fix this one here. So what you could do is just simply run a knife cut here like this. Press K and then grab this loop and GG and slide it in here. You could press E and F to flip it to the side and literally create like a securing edge, but then you still have this beef here, so you could do is just, you know, run boolean cleanup from the other side. And never gonna be perfect, but if you really want to have perfect shading, then just go with normal transfer. I'm not gonna be doing it because no point. Alt X to the other side, and then what we could do technically is turn on the dots and, you know, just simply cut a hole in here. Like this. Increase the number of verts with Shift to 50. Cut through it and sharpen, and then create a really nice chamfer here. And boom, you know, you got this kind of a shape. I could bevel this now. I waited almost, the bevel is too big. That will do. You can run a secondary chamfer here if you want. And then we need a chamfer here. Like, chamfers are really important, guys. They're going to really, really make the edges stand out, you know, like they're going to improve the I would turn off loop slide in here and actually fix it manually. They're going to improve the sort of a visual impact of your geo. Edge is gonna stand out really strongly, so let's fix this. This is a problem here. GG, just slide it a little bit lower. Alt X and you're good to go. The rest looks fine. Here we could have something like this, add another loop, and, you know, EM macro and insert it inside. Just that there's some kind of a, you know, break in the surface. It's gonna look pretty cool. Oh yeah, we need to fix the bevels here as well. I'm in chamfers now. There we go. And yeah, see, it's pulling in here. We do need to fix these. Oh bollocks, what is this? Oh my god. Let's pull it in here. Pull it down. This one here. This one should go here. And then Alt X. And then let's see the other side. Other side is fine. We would probably need a bevel here as well. I mean chamfer. You probably won't see that, but it's gonna help with shading in, you know, when you're gonna be rendering it. There you go, guys. That will be our mechanical joint. Hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.